I don't know. What am I going to say about this? Lou, you went and did it. You don't like the case. They're too thick on your phone. They take away from the feel of the phone. They get in your way. You're not liking them. You don't need the protection. So what do? You go and make your own case. And what happens next? The world explodes. So what is up with Latercase? What's going on here? And why is everybody getting it wrong? So we got a super thin case here. It's made of carbon fiber. Lou took 7 months to put this case together. We've got versions of this case for the iPhone, for the Android phone, for the Pixel, for as many phones as he could put this on, because Lou wants a case, the same case that he can use on all his phones. He wants a case that he likes, that he can use on all his phones. So what does he do? He goes out and makes it. I gotta applaud you. That's what I would love to do. Look, I've tried a plethora of cases, and no case is ever perfect, because some guy, some dude, some gal, some girl made that case, and she put her own personal touch on it, and that's fine, and that's what I expect. But if I'm gonna go out there and make my own case, I'm gonna make the case that I want, just like Lou did on Unbox Therapy. So if you're gonna buy the Latercase, you gotta realize you're getting a case that is built to the specifications that Lou likes to have on his phone. And if you don't like that, then go buy another case. I mean, that's the hard, truth. Now I happen to be, a pretty big fanboy. There are 10, 15 million more like me who are fanboys watching Lou's videos every single day. You gotta check out the Unbox Therapy. You gotta check out the Lou Later. You gotta check out the Later clips when they come out. You gotta watch the roundups on the other channels that Lou participates in. And now we got Latercase. It's pretty cool. I would love to be able to go out and have my own case made to my specifications, but I don't have, the money to be able to invest to get that done. So I think it's pretty cool. And for me to be able to buy this case so that I get to experience the type of case that Lou would prefer, there's something special here. I've been using this case for about a week, and there's a lot in this case that I like. There's a few things that are definitely missing. There's the protection, number one. I do use my case for protection. Unfortunately, I actually dropped my phone in the Latercase today. Phone's just fine. I had a screen protector on it that got cracked, but my phone itself is just fine, completely fine, 100 A-OK. Latercase is a tiny bit scratched up, but hey, any case is going to get scratched up when you drop your phone in it on the concrete getting out of your car. So I don't know what everybody's up in a roar about. I mean, I do. People get picky. You tick off CEOs. You make a case that's like other cases, but a little bit different. People try to say you're copying. Have you gone too far? Who knows? But really, it's all about the case that you wanted to make, and I think it's something special. So I jumped on day one, bought the case, 45 bucks. You obviously dropped the price to 35, and you gave me 10 bucks back. Hey, that was a nice treat. It was cool to get that email before I even saw the video, before I even knew what was going on. I got an email saying 10 bucks back on the case. So in all seriousness, you have to understand that if you're going to buy something like Latercase, and really if you're going to buy any case, you need to understand what the manufacturer is trying to achieve in creating that case. And in this case, Lou is trying to make the most non-case case that he can. He wants a case that's super thin, doesn't add any weight to the phone, doesn't add any bulk to the phone. He doesn't want the case to get in the way of the feel of the phone in your hand. He wants you to still be able to have that high quality phone. You know, Apple made this phone, the dimensions they made it, and we want to be able to enjoy it that way. Unfortunately, we have to put cases on it. So Lou made a case that is super thin so that it doesn't really get in the way of adding bulk to your phone. Now there's a risk to that. It's super thin, therefore you drop it, it might break. It's not going to have as much protection as a super thick, you know, over the top case. So you have to be aware of that if you're going to go in and use the Latercase. So definitely got to use that screen protector. I mean, here's mine after the drop. Put that up to the camera. You can see maybe see some cracks in it there. But my screen is fine. So, you know, screen protectors are key. You know, they protect your phone. So the other thing Lou wanted to have on his phone is he wanted to have ease of access. This case is easy to take off. The corners slip off very easily. He's switching phones out a lot. He has to change out his SIM card, so he needs to easily be able to take off and put on the case. The case stays on just fine. The case is not going to slip off your phone. It stays on just fine. I haven't had the phone, I haven't felt like the case is going to come off at all. I've been using it for a little over a week now. There is a lip around the front of the case. We're going to take a closer look at the case here in a second. There's a lip that will protect your cameras. You know, it's, for what it is, a super thin, lightweight case that's going to give you some scratch protection and maybe very light falls. It's going to put a layer of carbon fiber between your phone and the ground, or your phone and the desk, so you're not scratching up your phone as you handle it, but it's going to get out of the way, meaning that it's not going to have a huge lip around the front. You're not going to feel the lip. It's not going to cover the top or the bottom. It's going to give you, you know, a very slim amount of protection. If that's what you're looking for, and a lot of people are, there's other cases just like this out there, or very similar to this one out there, that don't give you a lot of protection. And some people, that works for them. And if it does, then you should consider a Latercase. But if you're working construction, or you just drop your phone all the time, which I think it probably sounds like I do because I've mentioned it in other videos, but I don't really drop my phone all the time. You should probably consider bulking up and going to the next level of cases, getting something a little bit thicker, getting something with a little bit more drop protection. So anyways, that's my rant. Lou, love the show, applaud the case. I'm loving the case. It's definitely worthwhile. We're gonna look up close here in a second, and we'll talk about the features of the case. Aspirational channel, Unbox Therapy. I'm under 100 subscribers right now. Can I get to 1 million? We'll see. But anyways, I just wanted to share this video as a little bit of appreciation, but also because there's so many people coming after you right now that I feel like you need a little bit of love. So here's some love for Lou. All right, let's jump into it. All right, guys, so here is the case. Comes in a pretty simple white box. You open it up, you've got Latercase inside. It did come with an extra cloth to wipe the case down. I have noticed that the carbon fiber material will get fingerprints on it, or will get smudges, maybe not fingerprints, but smudges. So keep that in mind. So you can see some of those on the case right there. You know, I'm gonna switch over to manual focus here. All right, there we go. Let's get this thing focused in up close. Oh yeah, you can see that carbon fiber. You do feel, so if you rub your hand over the back, you do feel the carbon fiber grooves going up and down. And I think, as Lou mentioned in the video, he wanted this. Some other cases come and they're a little bit more glossy on the back. He wanted this to be a little bit more matte, and so I think it is more of a matte than it is a gloss, and you do kind of feel some of the material through the case. It's got a decent lip. It'll protect your camera, so that's a really good look at how thin the case is if you look through where the power port sits right there. So if I get that in focus there. There we go. Give you a really good feel. There's the camera cutout up close. Here's where I dinged it, so you can see right here in the corner. That's where the phone took the impact when I dropped it. The case is structurally sound, a little marked up. There's the bottom, so the bottom is open. So let me plop on the iPhone. So a couple things, you know, it is really open on the bottom edge, so it is exposed. The corners, as I mentioned before, they come off very easily, but you do have to pry them off. So they don't come off on their own. You do have to, you know, use your finger to pry them off. There's the camera bump up close. You can see that the camera bump does come above. It does, the lip does come above the actual camera lenses on the phone. So you are getting protection if you set it down on the back of the phone. There is the top of the phone exposed again, although you do have the corner. So obviously if you look here, that's right where mine took the, if you look here, that's right where mine took the hit. So you can see it caught that as opposed to my phone. So that was enough coverage to help me in my circumstance. Although I'll say again, your mileage will vary there. I could have dropped it, there could have been a big rock and it could have hit in right the wrong, you know, in exactly the wrong spot, and the case, and then the phone could have broken. And that's true for any case, I would say. You know, you could always have that perfect, or the worst case scenario drop. Now here is the front of the phone, and as you can see, there is not a lip. So the lip does not, the sides of the case do not come around to past the front screen, so it does not form a lip around the front screen. So if you're setting your phone down on its face, on its screen, it's whatever surface you set it down on is going to be touching the screen. So you do need to be careful of that. So if this is something you're rocking and you're worried about protection, definitely get a screen protector. As I mentioned before, I had mine on there, and that definitely helped me in my drop. So let's just take one more look around. We're not going to spend a lot of time looking up close, because you can always pause the video if you want to look at something specifically. I mean, that you definitely feel a pattern. I like it. It does feel nice. One of the things I like, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is that it's cool to the touch. So it doesn't warm up in your hand. It's cool, kind of like your phone is cool to the touch because it's glass. This material stays cool to the touch, which I think is nice. So it really does feel like you're handling the phone and not necessarily a case. Now I want to compare this to a couple other cases here real quick. So let's take this back off and set that down. So I've got here the Kadabi Veil. This is Kadabi's thin case. So if you notice, I think, so yeah, about the same width. I mean, kind of bring that up close there. Paper thin, you know. So the reason I'm showing you this is I'm just setting a precedent that there are cases out there that people buy that are this thin. So there are cases that sell. I mean, I've heard a lot of talk about Pitaka. I haven't tried Pitaka. Maybe I should. So you can, if you want to critique me on that, you definitely could. And I should probably order a Pitaka case to compare. But this isn't about comparing. This isn't about, is this as good as Pitaka or is this better than Pitaka in this video. This is about, should you get Latercase, and why should you get Latercase? And the idea there is you want to check out what Lou's putting together, right? That's why you get this case. Now, as Lou improves these cases and he brings out more cases, then there may be more of a argument for the quality of the case compared to other cases. Is this a leading case out there in its category? Those types of things. But at this time, I mean, I don't think that's what you should be looking at if you're buying this case. I mean, you're buying this case because you want to have this experience. All right, another case to compare this to. Let's go with Rhino Shield. This isn't for the XS Max. I'm just going to show you the difference here. I mean, obviously, Rhino Shield is going to be much thicker, a lot more protection for your phone. So I mean, you know, if you're looking for protection, you're going to have to go up a level in terms of protection and go with something like the Rhino Shield, or even thicker. This is a UAG case. So take a look at that. I mean, it can almost fit inside the UAG case, but So if you look at the level of thickness there, much thinner than a UAG case. But if I throw this case on my phone, it's gonna bulk up the phone. I mean, if you look at this, you've got 2 humps or bumps at the top, 2 at the bottom. It's gonna make my phone taller than it really is. Now that's protection it's giving me there, but it's adding bulk to the phone. So there's a trade-off. You're trading off bulk for protection. And so you just have to decide what is that line for you? What are you looking for? What are you comfortable with when it comes to level of protection and level of bulk? And also just kind of what style do you want? Do you, right? Find the case you like and get that case. Mine is, you know, one of my favorites is the Kadabi sheath, although I'm testing the Kung Fu Grip by Smartish right now, and I'm really liking that case. It's very similar to the sheath, a little bit thicker, but it's got a lot of grip on it. So hopefully next video should be that coming out. I said last time it would be this video, but I thought I needed to get Latercase out, so I went ahead and did that. Anyways, that is Latercase, guys. So if you have any questions on it, hit me up down in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit of a rant, something a bit different than I normally do. If you liked it, let me know. And we'll see where we go from there. All right, guys, appreciate it. Peace.